What's up, guys? It's your girl Riva, and I'm back again with another video. If you're new to this channel, hi, my name is Riva. It's very nice to meet you. Before we get into this video, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up. And as I always say, make sure you guys leave your comments in the comment section down below. It does not matter how you feel about this video. We all want to talk about it. Also, if you're not following me on Instagram, follow my Instagram. It's at RIVAH_JORDON. And we're going to go ahead and jump right into the video.
Not play games like that either. You know you're playing games.
How am I playing games? What games? You know what, Jesse?
Like,
I'll give
you
you the floor.
laughed at her on her way out.
Okay, so Jesse, I'll give the floor to you. How would have you handled it after, if you were in my shoes? What would have you done? Please tell us.
Okay, so you're the host. If I'm the host, I would just stay there, let her do her show, and after that, just call security, ask her to leave, or tell your production team to try to get her to leave, or just let her stay on the show.
So you were saying let her stay on the show and continue to disrupt the flow of the show, overtalk other guests, have bad mic etiquette, and ruin the quality of the show?
And call fresh N-word over and over again.
You invited her, so you agreed to have her here.
Okay. And with the invitation.
So I guess they're talking about, I guess there was a situation where women were, asked to leave the platform or kicked out or whatever happened. And she's kind of, from what I hear so far, I mean, we're only a couple seconds in, but from what I'm hearing so far, she's saying because you invited this person onto your platform, you should be able to, allow disrespect on your own platform. I don't really understand where that's coming from, because she's like, oh, well, you invited this person here, so if they disrespected you, oh, well, like, let them finish. So I'm hoping that she's going to delve into this and say something that makes, a little bit more sense, for lack of better words, but I'm a little confused so far of how we're starting off with this conversation.
So comes the ability to retract said invitation, correct? So you would have let her just stay on the show and deteriorate the quality of your show?
I would have let her had her tantrum. I would have let her finish it, and I wouldn't have try to assess my power while she was heated. You get me?
So you're telling me you would let someone ruin your show?
So let's say you have a kid and they're throwing a tantrum. You can't scream at your kid while they're throwing a tantrum. You have to let them finish, and then you have to be like, okay, this was wrong because of this and this and this. So you're either going to learn or you're not going to learn.
So do we have a woman who's also referring to other women as children, that they act like children? Because if that's what she's doing, this is not helping her point at all. At all.
Not adults?
Yes, but
capable of
I also
making...
told you that some women have a hard time being here. You guys are not easy to deal with.
Okay. Did we put a gun and tell them they have to come on the show? As a matter of fact, one of the girls said she wasn't going to come on the show, but then decided to come on the show.
As a matter of fact, the girl in the middle, she came back.
Yeah.
So, just like you got up and left calmly. They didn't get up and left calmly. They were like, fuck y'all niggas, you're bolding. Yeah. And you know what? I'm going to put you on blast. You DM'd me to come back on the show.
Yeah, she DM'd you because I asked her to. I wanted to come back on the show.
And
I asked her to come on the show. She didn't want to, trust me.
So whose IG was it?
It was hers because she knows you. I don't...
Okay, so it was her choice, right?
Yes, I'm back. I'm here. I'm proud. I'm cool. I'm playing ball like you guys asked me to.
Right.
So...
Okay, so...
No, I mean...
but I just wanted to let you know that kind of behavior is not going to be rare in your situation because of the way you guys speak about women, and you guys make us feel a certain way, and that you should expect that,
so
because of the nature of your show.
So this is one of the biggest problems that we have right now when it comes to modern women and how they view emotions and feelings more important than logic. Because if you know you're coming onto a show like this or a platform like this, you do your homework before you get there. You kind of know the people that you're dealing with. You kind of know the situation before you get there, right? That does not mean that if somebody says something that you don't like, that you have the ability or opportunity to disrespect the people that invited you onto their platform. It does not mean that because you feel a certain way. Oh, because I feel this way, I'm going to behave in this manner. No. People who go off of feelings will end up they'll end up in jail. Okay, they'll end up in really bad situations and predicaments because of the way that they feel. Sometimes it's not about your feelings. It doesn't matter how you feel if somebody hit a nerve or struck a nerve with you or anything like that. You're not able to behave any kind of way that you want to behave, and there's no repercussions. That's not realistic. That we live in the real world. You cannot do that. If you run a red light, you're going to get a ticket, right? So, like, there's always going to be repercussions for your actions. But for some reason, we have a lot of modern women who feel as though they can act any kind of way and you have to accept me for it. Oh, well, this is just how I am. Well, you made me feel this way, so it's technically your fault. There's, like, no accountability for anybody's actions. So what she's saying, I completely disagree with. That literally does not... having that kind of mindset, not just on the platform, but in general, that's a problem.
A question, if I say something to you, right, or you say something, if you say something to me and I feel angry, and I decide, you know what, I'm just going to assault you, and I assault you, should I not be put in jail and held accountable for my actions as an adult?
Right.
Yes. I mean, she assaulted you because you were right in front of her face.
Oh, so this person assaulted him. And, oh, it's okay because he was in front of her face. That's what I'm saying. This is a big issue. And if he hit her back, then what happened? If he hit her back after she hit him, then what happened? Then he would be the bad guy, right? Because no, she's a woman, even though she's a woman and she put her hands on a man. It's crazy.
So it's okay for guys to hit you?
No, but I'm not going to get in anybody's face.
But then, no. But she came up to him and hit him in his face. He was in front of her. And she hit me 5 times. So she ran up to him and hit him.
I don't know. He's the host of the show, so he should have stayed sitting down. Okay. Why did he leave his spot?
How else would I tell her to leave, though? I want to hear Jesse's foolproof plan. How have you gotten them out? Go. Please tell me.
Yeah, please tell us.
Floor is on yours. Let's not stop her.
Yeah.
Give us the foolproof plan. How we will do it from A to Z.
Mm-hmm.
Well, patience. Okay. First, you let her finish. Mm-hmm. Let her say what she has to say. And then if you don't want her on the show anymore, then you just say, okay, you have to leave now. The security will be waiting for you outside or whatever, however you want to handle leaving, asking someone to leave. Like that, but you shouldn't get up and laugh and point. And you guys played a game, and it's cool. You got views, you got stuff from it, so it's nice. But like, it's not nice for us, for the women that are watching. It's not easy to watch that as a woman either.
So you said you told her you should have let her stay and then tell her you have to leave now. You heard on the audio I said you have to leave now, and what was her response? You're going to have to call the police to get me out. Fuck you.
Yeah. So how would you handle that?
Silence. It's amazing how, she had this all figured out. Oh, I would have handled it just like this. Okay, well, that's exactly what we did. Then there's silence. There's crickets. Before she says, like, I didn't know that. I wasn't aware that that's what happened. Or I wasn't aware that that's what you guys tried to do. Like, oh, no, you're right. Well, then, yeah, I understand what you did. No. There can't be any agreement because she has to stick to her point no matter how wrong it is. She's going to have to stand there. And this is a very, very big issue. What I find interesting is a lot of these modern women who try to tell men how to behave when it comes to women or try to tell men how to assert their masculinity or their masculine energy towards women are the same women that if a woman disrespected her, they'd be ready to scrap and ready to fight. The logic is gone. All of a sudden, women are not like children. All of a sudden, is this B and she's in my face and I'm going to handle it like we in a street fight. But if a man says, I'm not going to allow a woman to disrespect me, oh no, like you need to leave her alone. She's just a woman.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So no strategy on how to. I mean, if you're gonna criticize how we handled it, I would like to
hear your opinion.
Hear a better strategy.
You guys just heard my opinion. I think you guys escalated the situation with the way that you were acting. Specifically.
Because I told her to leave, and she said you're gonna have to call the police. I'm not leaving.
They both got up and they stood up. Right, because they were mad and they wanted, I'm not justifying their behavior. They shouldn't have done that. But you shouldn't have done it either. And you need to be the bigger person because this is your show,
Yeah, and I will tell you this studio is also worth about $200,000. So if I sit down here and she gets up and starts fucking up property, what am I gonna do?
Well, you need to have security or something. You need to have something to protect your $200,000.
Okay.
So on one side, she's saying you should have just like sat there or whatever. Then it's another is you got security, and then security isn't here. So how are we gonna adapt to the situation? It's obviously unforeseen situation where we would bring two crazy girls.
You see, the woman that was calming her down and talking to her, that was the right thing to do. Is what I'm saying.
But even after that, she didn't want to leave.
Yeah.
I'm not justifying their behavior.
Sounds like it, but okay.
Sounds like it.
I'm just saying, like, yo, if you're gonna tell us what we did was,
I'm not justifying their behavior, but you should have just leave them alone and let them behave in that manner because they're women. But I'm not justifying their behavior, but at the same time, you should have been the bigger person. How many times do we? How is it that we always want somebody else to be the bigger person instead of saying that woman was wrong? She shouldn't have done that. It doesn't matter, like, with all these platforms and stuff like that, it doesn't matter if you agree with the people are saying, if you don't agree, there's a certain way that you're supposed to behave in a certain manner, especially as a woman, that you are supposed to move in a certain way. You're not ever supposed to let somebody bring you out of a certain space, right? A certain character. So it doesn't matter. If somebody is wrong, they're wrong. Somebody can call you whatever name that they want to call you. It doesn't mean that you're going to feel good about it, but at the same time, there's only a certain way that you are allowed by law to react to certain situations. Because they do have things like self-defense, but if somebody's coming at you verbally and you hit them, you're in the wrong. Because no matter what somebody says to you, doesn't mean that you're able to physically put your hands on them. Period.
I'm just asking you to give us a better strategy so we can implement it. Last time, I'm like legit writing down like what you're saying, and I'm like, okay, well, there's a hole here.
My strategy is to sit down and take it because that's the reaction you caused out of somebody. So you just sit down and take it.
That's crazy.
I mean, for the most part.
And then if you don't like it, you have to have protection on your things.
This is so contradictory. Because if, as a woman, you go get in a man's face and he hits you, you're supposed to sit down and take it because you caused it? No, because if the roles were reversed and it was a man versus a woman, she would be saying something completely different. Because she's basically saying it doesn't matter how much lack of self-control this woman has, you're supposed to behave in a certain manner. That makes no sense.
She's just trolling at this point. I don't know why you keep going at it.
I don't know. You guys calling my opinion trolling. You guys are laughing. Whatever. I'm saying my opinion.
So, Jess,
you guys asked.
So, Jess, normally throughout the show, if things get out of hand, I would come in and say, hey, all right, calm down, do this. And for the most part, it works. And the girls are calm. Oh, Chris, I messed up. I'm sorry. Boom, boom, boom. But at this point, it escalated to a certain extent. So what Martin's asking you, how would you handle it if the escalation was to a point where the logic wasn't key? Things had to be done. So that's what we're trying to say. Because if you're saying, hey, you should talk to her nicely, and for the most part, we do. The girls on the platforms, ask Maya, she came married 6 times already. And I tell the girls on the platform, hey, stop talking over Myron. And for the most part, the girls actually calm down. But what we're trying to say is, okay, if that doesn't work, what's next?
Yeah, not all women are going to be submissive to you. And you have to understand that, So you have to be the bigger person. You have to sit down and take it. Like, it's okay.
So
someone could scream at you, and if you have enough composure and enough, you could just sit there and take it. That's fine. You don't have to scream back.
You know what, Trey? You're right.
Okay, let's move on. I mean, this is just awesome. Like, to me, it's like this is like mental gymnastics. Like the judo, like the deflection is amazing. Like accountability, like it's crazy, bro. Like
I'd like to see somebody come up to you and slap you
in your own home
3 times.
I'd
in
like
your
to
house,
see you, yeah.
I see you,
especially when you do
OnlyFans online.
Yeah,
and then let's see what happens.
A lot of things have happened to me. I have to take it, and then I have to find a way. I don't get back. I don't get revenge. I didn't come in here for revenge.
No. I get that, but it's like, if you're going to criticize the technique, I'm asking you to give us a better one. And what you basically said is you should sit there, allow a stranger to not only disrespect you in your home and assault you in your home, but you should sit there and not protect your own property either.
This is not a daycare.
That's basically what you've said.
It's a time to strategize for a plan for the future to not let that happen again.
Okay, but obviously life happens and it's happening real time. And it's like you're not really giving a better strategy to deal with it. But
this is not a daycare.
Yeah, this is
because she doesn't have a better strategy to deal with it. She just wants to be able to criticize you and tell you what you did wrong. But in actuality, she doesn't have a different strategy. She doesn't know how to deal with that situation, because the same way that she's telling, them to react is not the way that she would react. It's not. Because if it was, she would say, if I was in the situation, I would have done this, 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 this. And then I would have done this. And then if it would have done this, I would have done this. She can't give any answers. That's why we heard crickets earlier, because at the end of the day, she wouldn't handle that situation in that same way. She just wants to find a reason to make them both wrong in this situation. You don't have to agree with every single thing that a person says, does, or anything like that. But for me, I stick to truth and rights. If somebody is right, they're right. If somebody is wrong, they're wrong. It doesn't matter how I feel about you. It doesn't matter how I feel about what you're saying. Right and wrong, that's never negotiable. It's always very clear to see somebody who's in the right and somebody who's in the wrong. And she's just completely in the wrong right now. And I don't understand the mindset, Very, very, very delusional when it comes to the situation. And yeah, of course, definitely lacking the accountability that it requires to just say, you know what, you're right.
Adults.
You do not have the answer, Sway.
All right. Okay. All right. What are your thoughts before we close out?
Go ahead.
I'd say it's a hate-love relationship with the podcast. I understand his logic, his intelligence, but then I also feel the condescending, misogynistic.
Misogynistic.
Everyone has feelings. I mean, feelings is what runs the world. Is not really too much logic. Like,
I feel like you're right. I feel like you're right. But I feel like you're wrong too.
Can you tell me real quick how the world is run by feelings?
Shut up. Okay. There's just like a lot of anger that happens. Like if someone shoots a missile at someone else, anger is what makes them shoot it back. You know what I mean? Like it's in the end, I think it's just feelings.
Actually, I would argue
if someone shoots a missile at someone else.
Hold on. So I would argue that when missiles are shot and there's war, if anything, it's the most rational thing of all time, because you're strategically planning for some type of military and or attack that is based in logic and reason. Why are we going to? We didn't invade Iraq off of emotion. I'll tell you that right now. You know what I'm saying? You guys might be too young to remember that in 2003. But after 9/11 attacks, we invaded Iraq for strategic reasons, many of them which I will not list right now. We won't get into that conversation. But it wasn't feeling. Yeah, feeling might have been a part of it, but then they had to weigh the costs and benefits of invading a foreign country like that. And the benefits outweighed the costs, so they did it. It was a logical decision made by the president. So
okay, so the point here is that I understand your logic with like all the conversations we've had today.
Mm-hmm.
But I also see the imbalance in your logic because you are not a woman.
Okay. So you made a claim earlier saying that we're misogynistic. What about the podcast is misogynistic?
Just certain things that are said,
Can you tell us what these things are? Because that's a pretty serious claim to say something is misogynistic.
Just like saying there's no such thing as a high-valued woman.
What is a high-value woman?
Yeah, can you define to us what a high-value woman is?
Well, I mean, when you say that, it basically sounds like you're saying no woman has value.
No, what I said was a woman's value for being high value, off the term, is determined by the caliber of woman that she can attract. There's a burner performance on women and a burner performance on men. If a man can't attract a lot of women, he's probably not attractive and hasn't worked on himself. If a woman can't keep a guy, she's probably not attractive and hasn't worked on herself. It's just that both parties have to perform. The problem is that when you hold women to a burner performance, it's labeled as misogynistic. But when you hold a man to a burner performance, it's considered, well, that's what you should do anyway, be a man.
There's a lot of anomalies, a lot of just not facts with all the generalizations that you're making about men and women, and that's what really what misogynism is. It's where the sexism lies. Is all your generalizations about women and all your generalizations about men. And when I ask you about yourself, you can't even say that you're high value men. But you want to general.
I think it's I think that people are entitled to their own opinions. People are entitled to state, statistics and facts and numbers. And people always are speaking from their perspective of how they see life, how they experience life. through their eyes, you get to see everything. That's why there's so many different platforms talking about certain things, because you're always going to hear different tidbits because of people's life experiences. And I also feel that feelings, right? I also feel that, like I said, people are entitled to say things in whatever manner that they see fit to say it, in whatever, they can use their own discretions to have certain conversations. Now, if you don't agree with it, you absolutely don't have to agree with what people are saying. You don't have to, like it, love it, whatever. There's so many different places that you can listen, hear information from. But at the same time, there's certain talking points that everybody can bring to the table that are always going to be valid. So, like they say, a broken clock is going to be right a couple times a day, or maybe once a day, twice a day, however the saying goes. You're always going to find certain value in certain conversations. It doesn't mean that you're going to like everything. It doesn't mean that you're going to agree with everything. But it doesn't mean that the statements that are being made are not true. And it also does not mean that there's certain talking points that you can argue with, because they are talking points that you're going to see the vast majority talk about, especially from men talking to other men, or talking to women about how they view relationships and stuff like that. So I definitely, I get what they are trying to say about, how they feel and how it makes them feel, and how, it can be viewed or portrayed. But at the same time, you're on the show. So you can't disagree that much if you're actually there, or if people keep coming back and keep having these conversations.
Is everything and everybody into fit to this certain
Do you know what misogyny means?
To fit into your facts.
Okay, do you know what misogyny means?
Misogyny is like when misogyny is just like a way of thinking that values men more than women. And go ahead.
Okay, misogyny is actually the hatred of women.
Yes.
So nothing that we said here hates women or says that they're below men or anything like that. We're just acknowledging biological facts and differences between the two genders.
Mm-hmm.
That is not misogyny. So I'm asking you, what did we say that was misogynistic and showed hate to women? Because that's obviously a pretty serious accusation. And I'm okay in opening it to you guys and let you tell me what we said that was misogynistic. Please.
Basically that. I mean, I would just change your wording in the future and not say there's no
Which
such
wording
thing
offended
as
you?
a high-valued woman.
So it's how he said it, not what he said.
It's what he said. He said there's no such thing as a high-valued woman. Basically saying there's no woman out there that has high value. Basically saying that all women don't have value, right? So I would just change your wording on that.
Mm-hmm.
Incorrect.
How's that incorrect?
I said a high-value woman is determined by the caliber of man that she can attract.
You said a high-value woman does not exist. You could run the tape back and listen, and that's what you said.
Yeah, it does not exist.
I'm just saying.
It does not exist by herself. She needs it. Like I told you before.
To have high value.
I'm sorry?
You're saying she needs a man to have high value.
Yeah. Whether we want to accept it or not, men, our value is determined from what we create and the value we build. A woman's value is determined from what caliber of man that she can attract to her to provide her security.
So are like lesbian women, women that are with other women, are
they play by a
never
different set of
gonna be
rules.
valuable?
I knew she was gonna bring up that. They always have to find like loopholes in conversations, or to defend something that maybe she's not even a part of, but just to disagree with a man's talking point. They just have to find different things that have nothing to do with the thing that he just said. Address what he just said. If you disagree with what he just said, address that. Don't drive the car all around the block to make a different talking point. Let's stay right here on topic.
By a different set of rules.
I don't know, man. You guys generalize things a lot. Try to put.
I'm just asking you guys to tell us what. So you don't like that I said that a high value woman doesn't exist because it's contingent upon her ability to attract the man. That's what you consider as misogynistic?
You're basically saying that women only have their pussies to offer.
I'm just curious, who would you consider as a high value woman?
Myself.
Okay. So what do you bring to me as a man?
Well, I can bring you a lot of love. I can teach you how to take care of yourself, how to love yourself, how to have patience with yourself. All those spiritual things that you say are not important, That's where the woman's value lies. It's not really in our physical bodies or our ability to make money. It's about teaching you how to take care of yourself and how to love yourself, because women are carrying love inside them, and that's what we have to bring to the table.
So everything you just said to me, I can find that somewhere else, right?
You can find it on my website, jesse.vip.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I mean, and no, it's just funny because you're saying that you look at women as nothing but vaginas or whatever, but you're on the internet showing your vagina, monetizing it. So on one end, it benefits you where you make money, but on the other end, you're trying to say, oh, well, we're much more than that. I mean, right. It's like
this is when your profession that you have as a woman can come against you, especially when you're doing something like that, because you're saying all of these things about value and stuff like that, but at the same time, because of the avenue that she's in, he can literally throw that wrench into the conversation, and what are you going to do about it? Because it's true. And yeah, there's a lot of women who are capable of doing the same exact things that she just said. So what sets you apart and what makes you different besides the things that you're talking about, besides those things? You do have to look physically appealing. That's something that's very important, especially when you're talking about, attracting a high value man. We have these conversations all the time. It's very, very important. It's something that is important. But women deem things as important in relationships, and they think that they can go ahead and speak for men as to what men should find important from a woman in a relationship. And that's just not possible. That's something that we're not capable of doing, because unless you're a woman who's dating a woman, which you're still not a man, so you still can't speak from a man's perspective, you can't tell men what they can and cannot find attractive, what they can and cannot find important in relationships, or what a woman is supposed to be able to provide. Men know that because they're the ones who are searching for it, right?
I get that, but do you see how that's kind of incongruent with what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. But no. I mean, no, I really, no, I'm not stopping until what is misogynistic about, so I see your point, which I told you already, that it's contingent upon a man, which, again, I'm saying that there's a burner performance on both parties. So yeah, you didn't like the fact that I put a burner performance on women.
No, I just didn't like the fact I explained it already 3 times. You added on the sentence, but what you said earlier was a woman of high value does not exist.
It doesn't.
Just that sentence.
By herself. By herself. And then if we're going to take that, we got to use the entire, you can't just like take a portion of it and be like, that's it. No, she doesn't exist. She's determined by the value man she can attract.
I'm just saying you need to change your wording on that, or it just does come off as misogynistic.
Okay, so are we operating on facts or feelings here?
Facts.
Okay.
If you write that down on a piece of paper, a woman of high value does not exist, and you show that to 1 million people.
Well, there's much more to it than that. You can't take one piece of an idea, not you.
I wish her talking point was different. I wish she had a better rebuttal to what he's asking her as to what was wrong with the statement. I really wish she did, because I can completely understand what she's trying to say and what she's trying to convey, but he's not even able to answer the question, because all she's doing is talking about the talking point. She's not talking about what she finds a problem with. Are you saying that there's no high value women when we talk about finances, or are we talking about the caliber of woman? That's a better question that she should be asking him, because we do know, like, high value women, if we're talking about finances, I can understand what he's saying, because men are not attracted to women by their finances or by their financial state. But if we're talking about high value women, there are obviously going to be women who are high value, because the man who's a high value man is going to align himself with a woman who is a high value woman, because she has to be able to be his balance, which in actuality is what he just said, because it's based off of the caliber of man that she can attract, right? Like a queen is a queen with a king. That's basically what he's saying. So she should have just broke that down even more so that he can elaborate in the same way that I just did.
Entire idea. It's an entire concept. That's why I said, let me explain. It took a while to explain, but you're just using one sentence and that offends you, but you're not allowing the rest of it to resonate.
No, but
you're just picking one thing and saying, this is bad, this makes me feel bad.
That's like in the Bible, take it out of context.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm explaining myself, and that's what I saw as misogynistic, but if I do read into the rest of your explanation and your logic, I understand what you're saying.
Okay, so where is the hatred of women in that? Because that's a pretty serious accusation. So I'm gonna hold y'all feet to the fire. You guys gonna call us misogynists on the air? Tell us why.
I just explained that.
Where did we say we hate women in that?
That's what it sounds like.
It's not your words, it's your actions. It's just the way.
And what actions did we show that we hate women?
It's just the feeling and the
the
state.
feeling.
Oh, the feeling.
Okay, the feeling.
Okay.
But did we in any way say women are bad? We are better than you?
You would never. You're on air.
Yo, I'm trying to understand this here. So you're saying
they're calling us misogynists, but they can't prove to us how we're misogynists.
I'm just confused because, like, you're saying that from your feelings, but the facts are here. Like, girls tell us all the time, "You saved my marriage. You saved my relationship." We go this all the time. We never say we ever hated women. No one ever thinks that, but you're saying that. So I'm like, okay, like, could you tell us why?
I didn't say you guys hated women. I said you guys were misogynistic
and
sexist.
That is what a misogynist is.
That's what I mean, the definition that you guys described it as. That's what you guys.
No,
said.
that is the Webster Dictionary definition: hatred of women.
Of women.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're gonna say we hate women, back it up. How do we hate women?
Please tell us.
Okay.
I'll wait.
Crickets again.
No, I'm just saying, like, if you could.
Crickets again. I'm gonna go ahead and stop this video right here. Yeah, this was like a conversation that just was kind of like ring around the rosy. And again, it just shows that, like we talk about all the time, women put feelings in front of feelings and emotion in front of, you know, logic and this, and, you know, they love to tell you what you can and can't do. And some women just have the need to, again, sign, like Kevin Samuel said, the SIGN, the need to be right. You know, they have absolutely no facts, nothing that they're bringing, you know, to kind of like contradict the things that they're saying, or like combat the things that they're saying. Actually, is what I should have said. They're just talking just because they feel like they need to be right, and then they feel that they are right just because they're women. So this is insane. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. How you feel about the topics that they talked about. I definitely want to know you guys' opinions. So make sure you put them in the comment section. Make sure you guys are subscribed to this channel. Give this video a thumbs up. And again, if you're not following me on Instagram, follow my Instagram. It's @RIVAH_JORDON. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Love you.